Let's talk about the enemy's deception in your life. So I've been reading in Joshua, and the Lord has been speaking to me about deception in this generation when it comes to opportunities and also in just making daily decisions. So Joshua and the Israelites were just in battle with the town called Ai, and they just defeated them because the Lord's favor was with them. And so because of that, the land surrounding them had heard about the favor of God upon the Israelites and became fearful. And the Lord had specifically told Joshua as a command to not make any peace treaty alliances with anybody in the lands nearby. Now at this time, the Gibeonites were living very close to where the Israelites were staying. And so because of that, they were trying to figure out a way for them to manipulate the Israelites into making a peace treaty with them. So Gibeon came up with a plan, and they decided that they were going to bring old wineskins, torn up sandals, and moldy bread to the Israelites' camp, trying to convince them that they came away from a faraway land, try to convince Joshua to make a peace treaty with the Gibeonites so that they won't lose their lives. So they travel to where Joshua is staying, and they approach Joshua. Joshua asks who they are, and they start to say, we're people from a faraway land. You can tell that we're people from a faraway land because we have torn apart sandals, broken wineskins, our bread was fresh when we left, now it's moldy, and they were trying to deceive Joshua. Joshua goes on to say, well, I can't make any treaties with anybody who lives close. Like, the Lord specifically told me that can't happen. But the Gibeonites continued on and said, no, we're not from here. Look at all of this evidence. Like, it's so clear to you. Obviously, we're not from a land nearby. Well, Joshua in that time and in his understanding fell short, and he never consulted in the Lord. He leaned on his own understanding and what he could see with his eyes rather than talking to the Lord and asking God, what is he supposed to do in this situation? And so because of that, Joshua ends up being deceived, making a peace treaty between the Israelites and the Gibeonites, directly disobeying the Lord's commands. In his mind, he thought, this isn't really that big of a deal. I mean, I see it with my own eyes. It's got to be something that's not that big of a deal. Let me just make this peace treaty and we'll be good. But it ends up causing a lot of repercussions in the future where they have to defend the land of Gibeon. And then all the people are upset because of this decision he made when he didn't consult in the Lord, which could have been avoided if he would have just asked God for clarity on the situation and the answer, no matter how big and how small. So I read that, and I really didn't think God was talking to me about deception until I read the next day in Proverbs 23, and God also brought it up again. Proverbs 23:1. While dining with a ruler, pay attention to what is put before you. If you're a big eater, put a knife to your throat. Don't desire all the delicacies, for he might be trying to trick you. So not only is the enemy trying to deceive us in small decisions, but he's also trying to deceive us in the things that look amazing to us, in opportunities. So I'm calling out to this generation and anybody who's watching this video, be super careful in this next season in doors and opportunities that are in front of you, because not every opportunity is from the Lord. And no matter how big a decision is and how small it is, make sure that you ask God for guidance. The enemy can come in small ways that you would never expect. So you just want to be on guard and fight the good fight for the true faith.